PSG are definitely running out of time as they look to tie down Kylian Mbappe to a long-term deal. The Frenchman is set to enter free agency this June and hasn't been very forthcoming about his future plans, with Real Madrid lurking. And it appears that the Parisians might not be able to convince him into staying put at the club beyond the current campaign. Barcelona aren't out of the woods yet, but are set to win a lucrative sponsorship deal that will go some way to improve their financial health. It's official. Atalanta have made a big move in the January transfer window, which only further strengthens Gianpiero Gasperini's men. Jesse Lingard definitely has no future at Manchester United, and it appears that OGC Nice are willing to try their luck this month. The situation is becoming tense between Fiorentina and Dusan Vlahovic, with the latter seemingly closer to a move to Juventus. Here we go again. Watford have gone for their second managerial change of the season, this time around wielding the axe on Claudio Ranieri. Before we get started, we want to share the sponsor of today's video. The OneFootball app is the ultimate football platform and is a must-have for every football fan, so that you can follow all of your favourite leagues, teams and players all the time right from your phone. You can be sure to turn on notifications for specific players to be instantly alerted when they score a goal or when they're involved in other breaking news. It is the best and easiest way to stay up to date with everything football. Click the link in the description down below to download the app right now. You won't regret it. It's official. Claudio Ranieri is no longer the Watford coach, as announced on Monday evening by the Hornets, currently 19th in the Premier League with only 14 points. Watford Football Club confirms the departure of coach Claudio Ranieri. The Hornets board recognises Claudio as a man of great integrity and honour, who will always be respected here at Vicarage Road for his efforts to lead the team with dignity. After another defeat on Friday evening against Norwich 3-0, the Italian tactician who arrived last October to replace the Spaniard Xisco Munoz leaves his duties as a manager only 3 months after his arrival. Note that Ranieri, who managed just 2 wins, 1 draw and 11 defeats in 14 matches, is the Hornets' 8th coach since 2019. They're definitely going down, and maybe a change in management might not be the only way to solve things. It seemed impossible a few days ago, and yet a week before the end of the transfer market, the joint top scorer in Serie A could change teams. Indeed, Dusan Vlahovic, who scored 17 goals in 21 games, is getting closer to Juventus. Fiorentina general manager Joe Barone said, "We are open to everything and we want clarity." Absent from the meeting against Cagliari on Sunday, La Viola communicated 2 positive cases without giving their names. Is the striker about to leave? According to La Gazzetta dello Sport, he's closer than ever to a transfer, but not to the Premier League, where Arsenal were batting their eyelids at him, but from Juventus. The old lady, less potent in attack with only 34 goals scored in 23 matches, had initially shortlisted the name of the Serbian striker for the month of June. But the management understood that it was possible to snatch up the player in January, on condition of paying at least €70 million. One hell of a sum, especially for a club that no longer really spends lavishly. Dropping that kind of amount would mean sacrificing future recruitment next summer. Juve are therefore considering betting everything on Vlahovic, with whom they've already agreed personal terms. A salary of almost €7 million per season awaits the Serbian in Turin. The player has made his decision. He wants to join the Bianconeri. Fiorentina opened the door, choosing not to change the striker's mind. Everything is therefore in the hands of Juventus. Should we bet on the soon-to-be Juventus striker to help them secure a place in the Champions League? We'll find out within 7 days. Already approached a year ago, Jesse Lingard is once again in the sights of OGC Nice. The track particularly appeals to Christophe Gauthier, but the financial aspect complicates things. His more than successful loan to West Ham during the second half of last season has restored his image, but Jesse Lingard quickly saw that his return to Manchester United would not be successful. Without a start in the Premier League, the attacking midfielder has been content with a few minutes since the start of the 2021-22 campaign, and it is again in the transfer section that his name is most frequently cited. Newcastle have been struggling to convince the 29-year-old England international for several weeks. West Ham are also interested in the idea of bringing him back, and even Spanish clubs are thinking of him. But there's another club that could overtake everyone on the wire, and that club is OGC Nice. The Riviera club, currently second in Ligue 1, is looking to strengthen on the wings and bring competition and different profiles. Stengs, Kluivert and Boudaoui are all good players, but can be quite inconsistent. Christophe Gauthier might have remembered that Nice had already tried an approach for Lingard exactly a year ago, and has strongly suggested this name to his management. The French tactician would be delighted to welcome Lingard, who's coming to the end of his contract next June with Man United. But inevitably, a player of this ilk has wage expectations that can be inaccessible for some Ligue 1 clubs, especially outside of PSG. Financially, the case is a bit complex, but not necessarily impossible. And the prospect of ending the season very high in the Ligue 1 could encourage the management of Nice to make an effort. Italy suits him perfectly. Former Chelsea player Jeremy Boga had been spending loan spells at Rennes, Granada and Birmingham, and was finally able to become a top player when he transferred to Sassuolo in the summer of 2018. Poached against the cheque of €10 million, the native of Marseille has slowly but surely found his place in Roberto De Zerbi's squad. The highlight was his form in the 2019-20 season, where he scored 11 goals and delivered 4 in 34 Serie A games. And after being linked with a move away from the club, Boga has finally left the Emilia-Romagna club. To attract him, 2 clubs were on the lookout. First of all, there was Shakhtar Donetsk, where his former mentor Roberto De Zerbi is at the dugout. The latter wanted to bring a new tactical and stirring profile to the Miners' attack. Nevertheless, Boga decided to stay in Italy and chose the other suitor, Atalanta. Atalanta BC announces the definitive purchase of player Jeremy Boga from Sassuolo, indicates the club without specifying the duration of the contract. 8th in Serie A, 17 points behind the leaders Inter Milan, La Dea is no longer in the race for the title, but the European dream is well and truly alive. Ambitious for a few seasons, the Lombard formation did not skimp on the means, with a cheque of around €22 million to complete the operation. Barcelona's current finances are in the red. The Catalan club has just over $1 billion in debt, and to strengthen itself, the club needs to be highly creative to achieve its ends. While Ferran Torres was recruited for big money, the former Mancunian had to wait a few days before being officially registered, which happened after Philippe Coutinho left for Aston Villa. But the advantage of a team like Barca is that its brand still carries a lot of worth. President Joan Laporta understands this. So while the lucrative contract with Rakuten, €55 million a year, ends next June, the Blaugrana are actively negotiating with several companies to find the club's future sponsor. And according to Sport, the Catalans could secure a historic deal. The local daily claims that Barca have been negotiating with US cryptocurrency company Vegan Nation since November. Vegan Nation are negotiating to have its name on the jersey as main sponsor, but also on the sleeves of the jersey and on the training clothes. However, this company has proposed a joint venture with Asian technology company Tencent, a collaboration that could bring in €80 million annually. But that's not all. Barcelona are also negotiating with 2 other companies, Spotify and Polkadot. If Barcelona opt for Spotify, they would earn €100 million a year, which would be the biggest sponsorship deal in football history. Legendary Arsenal manager Arsène Wenger believes that Paris Saint-Germain will find it very hard to convince Kylian Mbappe into staying at the club. The Frenchman's contractual status is the worst kept secret now, and the Parisians are in danger of losing him for nothing this summer. The young forward is free to sign a pre-contractual agreement with another team, with Real Madrid poised to sign him up in June, and Wenger believes that the train has left the platform for PSG. I've been waiting a year and a half for PSG to manage to renew Mbappe. He is the most indispensable player in PSG's way of playing, but there is little time left, and today the footballer is free to sign wherever he wants. PSG were in a situation where they had a firm offer from Real Madrid. When you reject €180 million, even for PSG, it is still a huge sum. So, when they refused this money, they either said to themselves, we need to have a great season as we have Lionel Messi and we can't afford to lose Mbappe, or they thought, we will manage to convince him to stay. At the same time, Zlatan Ibrahimovic has also advised Mbappe to leave for Real Madrid, calling the move a good one for his career. A lot of people do believe that Mbappe's time in France has run its course, so it is natural for him to seek a higher plateau. And while the runaway Ligue 1 leaders would love to hold on to him beyond the current campaign, it seems realistically impossible for them to do that.